Blessings to you, my dear. As we begin this time together, I want to ask you one gentle question. What if the small choices you make each day are shaping the entire course of your life? Not the once-in-a-lifetime decisions, not the dramatic turning points, but the simple habits you practice in the quiet hours of your day. This is something I have seen again and again. It is not the grand gestures that transform us. It is the little things we do consistently, the way we speak to ourselves, the thoughts we repeat when no one is watching, the way we choose to respond moment by moment. That is what creates healing. That is what creates happiness. That is what creates abundance. I have said it many times. Every thought we think is creating our future. This is not a metaphor. It is the truth of how energy works. Every thought is a seed, and life is the soil. If you plant seeds of love, of trust, of gratitude, your garden will bloom with beauty. If you plant seeds of fear, of anger, of resentment, your garden will reflect that too. The soil does not judge. It simply brings forth what is planted. That is why your daily habits matter so deeply. Because habits are simply repeated seeds. They are the thoughts, words, and actions you choose again and again until they become the rhythm of your life. So today, I want to share with you 5 life-changing habits, small, daily practices that will open the way to healing, happiness, and abundance. You do not need to change everything overnight. You do not need to be perfect. All you need is willingness and a little consistency, because what you practice, you become. Habit 1 is understanding, awareness of your thoughts. You cannot change what you do not understand. You cannot transform what you do not see. And yet, most people live without awareness of the thoughts that move through their minds. They go through the day thinking thousands of thoughts, many of them critical, fearful, or self-defeating, and they do not even notice. Then they wonder why life feels heavy, why nothing changes, why happiness seems far away. But my dear, how can you create a loving life if you are planting seeds of fear all day long? Your thoughts are like invisible seeds, quietly shaping your experience. When you think, I am not good enough, you are planting a seed. When you think, life is hard, you are planting a seed. When you think, I never get what I want, you are planting a seed. And the soil of life will faithfully bring those seeds to harvest. This is not punishment. It is simply the law of creation. What we think, we create. What we focus on grows. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine if you paused throughout your day and noticed your thoughts. Imagine if you caught yourself in a negative spiral and asked, is this thought helping me? Does this thought support my healing? Does this thought create love and abundance? And if the answer is no, you gently choose another. You say, I choose to think differently. I choose to plant a new seed. That is awareness. That is understanding. That is the first habit that can change your life. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are walking into work and your mind is repeating, I hate this place. I am so stressed. I can't stand my boss. Those thoughts are seeds. They create more stress, more resistance, more negativity. But if you catch yourself, if you pause and say, I see what I am thinking. These thoughts are not creating peace. I choose another thought. Then you open the door to change. You might say, I am grateful for the income this job provides. I am learning patience here. I am willing to find joy in this moment. And by planting those seeds, you invite different experiences. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly you see what has always been there. Suddenly you realize you have a choice. Because the truth is, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. You are the gardener who chooses which seeds to plant and which to let go. I want you to practice this with me now. Take a breath. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Does this thought support me, or does it drain me? If it supports you, keep it, water it, let it grow. If it drains you, gently release it and replace it with something loving. You might say, I choose thoughts that create love and abundance. Repeat it softly, again and again, until it begins to sink in. This affirmation is like planting a new row of flowers in your garden, and over time those flowers will bloom. Do not be discouraged if negative thoughts arise. They will. They are habits, patterns you have practiced for years. But the moment you become aware of them, you have the power to change. You can always choose again. And that is the miracle of awareness. It gives you back your freedom. So as you move through your day, let this be your first habit. Awareness of your thoughts. Notice them, question them, and choose the ones that create the life you desire. Remember, every thought is a seed, and with love, with awareness, you can plant a garden of healing, happiness, and abundance. Habit 2, know your worth. My dear, this may be one of the most important truths I can ever share with you. You are already worthy. You do not need to prove it. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to beg life for permission. Worthiness is your birthright. The very fact that you are here, breathing, alive, is proof enough. And yet, so many of us have forgotten this simple truth. We have been taught to believe that love must be earned, that abundance must be deserved, that happiness is a reward for working hard enough or being good enough. But the truth is far gentler. The truth is, you were worthy the day you were born, and nothing can change that. I have met so many beautiful people who walk through life with a sense of lack, always feeling behind, always feeling not enough. And when we look deeper, we find the same root. They have forgotten their worth. They believe they must do more, achieve more, or sacrifice more before they can be loved, before they can be safe, before they can be happy. And so they chase endlessly, never resting, never allowing themselves to receive. That is what I call a scarcity mindset. Not because life is scarce, but because they have forgotten the infinite value within themselves. So today, I want you to practice remembering. Because when you remember your worth, you open the door to abundance. When you remember your worth, you stop accepting crumbs and begin allowing banquets. When you remember your worth, you no longer settle for relationships, jobs, or situations that diminish you. Instead, you align yourself with love, with prosperity, with joy. Here is a practice I want you to try. Go to a mirror. Look into your own eyes. Do not rush. Do not look away. See yourself, the child who has survived, the soul who has learned, the heart who still longs for love. And softly say, I am worthy of love and abundance. You may feel silly. You may feel resistance. You may hear an old voice inside saying, no, you're not. That's okay. Those voices are just old patterns, echoes from the past. Keep going anyway. Say it again. Let the words be like drops of water on dry soil. With repetition, the soil will soften. With gentleness, the seed will take root. I have seen people change their entire lives through this simple mirror work. Because when you can look into your own eyes and say, I am worthy, something inside begins to heal. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to open to receiving. You begin to believe what life has been whispering to you all along. You are enough. I also want you to try a journaling practice, because writing anchors the truth more deeply. Take a piece of paper and write down 5 pieces of evidence that the universe has supported you in the past. It could be small things: a friend who called just when you needed comfort, a stranger who helped you when you were lost, money that appeared just in time to pay a bill, an opportunity that came when you least expected it, a moment of beauty that reminded you you're not alone. These are not accidents. These are reminders. They are little love notes from the universe, showing you that you have always been cared for, always been supported. When you write these down, you begin to build a case for your own worthiness. You begin to see that life has been investing in you all along. You begin to realize, if the universe has supported me before, why would it stop now? If I was worthy then, why am I not worthy now? The truth is, you have always been worthy. So let us affirm together: I am worthy of love. I am worthy of abundance. I do not need to earn my worth. It is my birthright. Life supports me, and I open my arms to receive. Say it softly. Say it often. Let it become the song that carries you through your day. And remember, my dear, the more you believe in your worth, the more life will mirror it back to you. Opportunities will come. Love will come. Prosperity will come. Not because you chased them, but because you finally allowed yourself to receive what was waiting all along. Habit 3. Trust the universe. Let me share something I have seen over and over again in my own life and in the lives of so many who have come to me for healing. When we learn to trust the universe, doors open that we could never have pushed open with our own effort. Miracles appear in places where we once saw only walls. The truth is simple. Life is always working for us, never against us. Yet so often we forget this truth. We let fear and worry become our constant companions, and in doing so, we cut ourselves off from the flow of love and abundance that is always available. Think about it, my dear. How many hours have you spent worrying about things that never even happened? How many nights have you stayed awake, spinning anxious thoughts in your mind, only to find later that life resolved the problem in its own perfect way? Worry is like praying for what you don't want. It is using the power of your imagination to create pictures of fear instead of pictures of peace. And fear does not protect you. It only disconnects you from trust. When you live in fear, you are sending a signal to the universe. I don't believe I am safe. I don't believe I am supported. I don't believe good things are possible for me. And life, being the mirror that it is, reflects that belief back to you in the form of more struggle, more obstacles, more closed doors. But when you live in trust, you send a very different message. I believe life is on my side. I believe I am cared for. I believe opportunities are waiting for me. And the universe, like a loving friend, rises to meet that belief with evidence of support, with signs of love, with blessings you could not have arranged on your own. One of the most powerful habits you can practice is simply this. Every time you feel worry rising, every time fear takes hold of your mind, stop. Place your hand gently on your heart. Take a deep, slow breath and whisper to yourself, I trust life to take care of me. This may seem small, but it is a great act of faith. Each time you say it, you are rewiring your mind away from fear and toward trust. Each time you say it, you are reminding yourself of the truth. Life has always provided for you, and it always will. I want you to remember this. Your very breath is proof that the universe supports you. If you did not take another breath, you would not last more than a few minutes. And yet you trust, without even thinking, that the next breath will be there. You do not stay awake at night wondering if the air will run out. You simply trust. And if the power that created you has given you enough air for every moment of your life, can you not trust that the rest will also be provided? Food, opportunities, money, love, these are no different from air. They are part of the same abundant flow of life. Sometimes people tell me, "But Louise, I've been hurt. I've been disappointed. How can I trust after that?" And I say, trust does not mean everything will always look the way you expect. Trust means you believe life is guiding you to what is best for your highest good, even if the path looks different from what you had in mind. Have you ever noticed that something you thought was a disaster turned out to be a blessing in disguise? A job you lost made space for a better one. A relationship that ended opened the way for true love. A closed door redirected you to a more beautiful path. That is the universe working for you. The more you trust, the more you allow this flow. The less you trust, the more you resist it. Trust is like opening your hands to receive. Fear is like clenching your fists. Which one do you think can hold more blessings? I want you to make trust a daily habit. Each morning when you wake up, before the worries of the day rush in, place your hand on your heart and say, "I trust life to take care of me. I trust the universe to guide me. I trust that everything is working out for my highest good." Say it 3 times. Say it until your body softens. Say it until your mind begins to believe it. This simple practice sets the tone for your whole day. And when challenges come, and they will, practice again. Instead of spiraling into what if and how will I survive, pause, breathe, place your hand on your heart, and remind yourself, I trust. The challenge is not here to destroy you. It is here to teach you, to redirect you, to open you. With trust, even pain can become a teacher. With trust, even endings can become beginnings. Think of trust as the soil in which all abundance grows. Without trust, your affirmations are like seeds scattered on concrete. With trust, those seeds are planted in rich, fertile ground. They can take root, they can grow, they can blossom. That is why this habit is so essential. When you trust, you align yourself with the flow of life. And when you are in the flow, opportunities, prosperity, and joy come to you naturally. Let us do a little visualization together. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing in a beautiful river. The water is cool and gentle, flowing around you. This river is life. It is abundance. It is love. You can either resist, standing stiff and fighting the current, or you can trust, letting it carry you. As you surrender, you realize the river knows exactly where it is going. You do not need to push. You do not need to control. You only need to float, to allow, to trust. This is how life works when you let it. And now let us affirm together. I trust life to take care of me. I trust that the universe is always working for my highest good. I release fear. I release worry. I open to flow. I am safe. I am supported. I am loved. Repeat these words often. Let them become the habit that replaces worry. Let them be the anchor that steadies you in every storm. My dear, you are not here to struggle alone. You are not here to live in constant fear. You are here to know the joy of being supported by life itself. You are here to remember that the same power that makes the sun rise and the stars shine is the power that loves you, guides you, and provides for you. The more you trust, the more you will see this truth reflected everywhere. Habit 4. Love. Practice self-love. My dear one, let us pause here and come back to the most important relationship you will ever have, the relationship with yourself. Everything in life is filtered through the way you see and treat yourself. If there is self-hatred, criticism, or guilt at the core, then even blessings feel heavy. Even abundance feels unsafe. Even love from others feels like it doesn't belong to you. But when you nurture love for yourself, when you treat your own being as precious, everything changes. Self-love is the foundation for healing, for happiness, and for prosperity. Over the years, I have seen people try every diet, every therapy, every course, every book, and nothing truly shifts until they begin to practice self-love. You can fill your mind with affirmations, you can visualize for hours, but if deep inside you still believe, I am not lovable, then the flow of life is blocked. It's like planting seeds on frozen ground. The soil has to be softened with love first, or nothing will grow. I want you to think honestly for a moment. How often do you criticize yourself? How often do you replay mistakes in your head, punishing yourself for what you could have done better? How often do you look in the mirror and only see flaws? Most of us have been taught to be our own harshest critics, as if tearing ourselves down will somehow make us stronger. But it doesn't. Self-criticism erodes the soul. Self-love rebuilds it. And here's the truth. You cannot bully yourself into healing, and you cannot shame yourself into prosperity. Those energies only create more illness, more delay, more fear. Healing happens in an atmosphere of gentleness. Prosperity comes when you feel safe to receive it. Joy arises when you treat yourself with the kindness you have so often given to others. So I invite you to begin a new habit. Each day, take just a few minutes to write down 3 things you love about yourself. They don't have to be grand. It could be, I love my resilience, or I love the way I smile at strangers, or I love how deeply I care. As you do this, you begin to retrain your mind to look for goodness in yourself. You begin to build evidence of your own worth. And then stand in front of the mirror, look into your eyes, and say gently, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. At first, the words may feel strange. You may want to turn away. You may feel resistance or even tears. That's all right. The discomfort is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that the words are touching a place in you that longs to be healed. Keep going. Keep speaking with kindness. Over time, the resistance softens and love begins to flow. I have said many times, resentment, criticism, fear, and guilt are the most damaging patterns we carry. They create illness in the body and lack in life. But love dissolves them all. Love is the great healer. When you practice self-love, you create an inner environment where resentment cannot survive, where guilt loses its grip, where fear begins to fade. Your body responds. Your mind becomes calmer. Opportunities begin to appear. Life reflects the love you are giving yourself. Let's imagine for a moment what your life could feel like if every thought you had about yourself was kind. Imagine waking up in the morning and instead of saying, I look terrible, you say, I am grateful for this body that carries me. Imagine making a mistake and instead of saying, I'm so stupid, you say, I am learning and I forgive myself. Imagine looking in the mirror and instead of focusing on what you don't like, you whisper, you are beautiful and I love you. How different would your day feel? How different would your choices be? Remember, self-love is not selfish. It is not arrogance. It is not vanity. It is coming home to yourself. It is filling your own cup so that you can give authentically to others. When you are overflowing with love inside, you naturally share it. You naturally attract relationships, work, and experiences that match that vibration. Now, let us do a little practice together. Place your hand gently on your heart. Close your eyes. Take a breath and say softly, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of kindness. I am worthy of joy. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Feel how your body responds. Notice if your shoulders relax, if your breath deepens, if your heart softens. That is your being saying yes. That is your soul remembering the truth. Self-love is not a one-time act. It is a daily habit. Just as you brush your teeth to care for your body, you practice loving words to care for your soul. Each time you choose love instead of criticism, you are rewiring your mind. Each time you forgive yourself instead of holding guilt, you are opening your heart. Each time you appreciate yourself, you are creating fertile soil for abundance to grow. I encourage you to keep a self-love journal. Each evening, write down 3 ways you showed yourself kindness that day. It could be as simple as taking a break when you were tired, saying no when you needed rest, eating something nourishing, or speaking gently to yourself. Over time, this becomes evidence that you are building a new habit, one of tenderness and respect toward yourself. And if ever you find yourself slipping back into old patterns of self-criticism, don't add another layer of judgment. Simply notice, smile gently at yourself and say, that was the old way. I am choosing love now. Healing is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about catching yourself sooner and redirecting with compassion. So let us affirm together, and I want you to say this with feeling, as if your soul itself were speaking. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I love myself when I succeed, and I love myself when I stumble. I love myself in my strength, and I love myself in my vulnerability. I am lovable. I am enough. I am whole. Carry these words with you. Whisper them in the morning. Write them on your mirror. Repeat them when doubt arises. Let them be the foundation upon which you build every other habit. Because when you love yourself, everything else, healing, happiness, abundance, flows naturally. Habit 5. Practice. Gratitude and letting go. My love, we have come to the final habit in this journey, and it may be the most transformative of all, the practice of gratitude and letting go. These 2 simple acts, giving thanks and releasing resentment, can change the entire atmosphere of your life. Forgiveness frees your energy. Gratitude multiplies your blessings. They work together like the inhale and exhale of your spirit. One releases, one receives. Think for a moment about resentment. When we hold on to anger, blame, or disappointment, it is like carrying a heavy stone in our heart. We may think we are punishing the other person, but in truth, we are only weighing ourselves down. Resentment ties us to the past. It keeps us locked in a story that no longer serves us. And as long as we are bound to that story, our energy cannot flow freely. Healing cannot take root. Abundance cannot enter. Forgiveness does not mean we say what happened was right. Forgiveness means we choose freedom for ourselves. It means we say, I release you, and in doing so, I release me. And then there is gratitude, the beautiful, quiet magic that turns everything into enough. Gratitude does not wait until life is perfect. Gratitude does not deny challenges. Gratitude looks at what is here and says, even in this, I see the gift. Even in this, I choose to bless. When you practice gratitude, You shift your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to trust, from wounds to blessings. And what you focus on expands. The more you give thanks, the more you find to be thankful for. The more you release, the lighter you feel, and the more room you create for joy to enter. I want to give you a practice you can begin tonight. Before you go to sleep, take out a notebook and write down 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be grand. You can write, I am grateful for the bed I sleep in. I am grateful for my breath. I am grateful for the smile of someone I love. Along with those 3 gratitudes, choose one thing from your day that you are ready to release. It could be a small irritation, a mistake you made, or an old thought that no longer serves you. Write it down and then whisper softly, I release the past with love and I welcome abundance with gratitude. This simple nightly ritual will cleanse your heart, calm your mind, and prepare your spirit to receive more blessings tomorrow. And now, let us seal this journey with reflection. Ask yourself gently, am I nourishing myself or harming myself with the thoughts I think each day? Be honest, but be kind. Ask, do I believe I am truly worthy of love and prosperity? If the answer feels uncertain, let that uncertainty be the doorway to deeper healing. And then ask, am I willing to forgive the past, to release old wounds, and to open to a new future? These questions are not meant to shame you. They are meant to awaken you to your own power. For every answer you write, you are planting seeds of awareness, and awareness is always the first step to change. So now, my dear, I bless you. When you understand, when you know, when you believe, when you love, and when you practice daily, your life naturally blossoms into healing, happiness, and abundance. This is the truth. It is not reserved for a lucky few. It is available to you, right here, right now. If my voice touched your heart, comment below. I release old patterns and I welcome abundance with gratitude. Remember always, life loves you. Life supports you. You are safe, you are worthy, and you are deeply loved.